My nana pulled me through the window, okay? Now imagine, when I'm climbing up there, it's pitch black. Okay, it's nobody. I'm thinking it's nobody in my room because who's just sitting in there in the dark? Who's sitting there chilling in the dark? Man, my nana, boom, she pulls me in. And when she pulled me in, she flicked the light on. When she flicked the light on and I saw it was her, my heart, okay, dropped. Like I could feel my heart like dropping away. So I'm just like, I'm busted. I've been sneaking out the window for a few times, a few scenarios, and I have not got caught. But my nana caught me. Now, and mind you, Mark had asked me, did I lock the door? And he told me to go back up there. And I said, I ain't going back up there. If I go back up there, I'm staying. Maybe I should have took his advice. Maybe that was the time I should have took his advice and climbed back. But it was just a struggle to climb back in and climb back out. My nana said, where you coming from? Where have you been? And I'm like, she said, you give me another arm. Give me another arm. And I promise you, I'm going to show you what arm mean. I'm like, I was on the porch doing what? I'm like, talking to my friend. She said, look like you've been smoking. That's what it looked like. It looked like you've been smoking. I'm like, I haven't been smoking. I'm just tired. She like, let me smell your fingertips. I'm like, what is up with what? In my mind, I was like, okay, this lady is bat crazy. I'm talking about flying bat crazy. Caught me off guard. So I'm like, I'm kind of nervous because I don't even know what my fingertips smell like. So I'm like, okay. So she grabbed my wrist and she sniffed. She said, smell like you've been smoking. I'm like, I ain't been smoking. She said, or you been around somebody that's smoking. I'm like, I wasn't around. She said, climb back out the window and come through the front door. Let me show you how to use the door. So now I'm looking at her like, first off, wait a minute. Do you not understand how, first off, to climb in my window it's a project. This ain't like no easy. This ain't like sliding down a slide. So I'm looking at her like, okay, I know she's kidding. She said, come on, hurry up. So I'm looking, she said, oh, in this bed. And she took the thing out and let all the air out the air bed. She said, I see why your mama took all your belongings. And she pulled the air bed out the room as it was like, she pulled that joke out and she threw it out the door. So she said, get back out that window. And I'm like, she said, I should record you off my phone so I can show your mama. So I looked at her. She said, matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. You wait right here. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I am so in trouble. So I look out the window. Marky, like, he like kind of like on the brick wall. Like he kind of like leaned up against, you know what I'm saying, the house. Like, you know what I'm saying, like on the sideways. So I'm like, Marky. He don't say nothing, but I can still see his hand. I'm like, Marky. So he looks and I'm like, right there. He like, what? I'm like, stay right there. He like, she going. I'm like, so my nana comes. She say, turn around. So I look. She say, so my grandson thought it would be a great idea to sneak out the window and do God knows what. So I told him to sneak back out that window and come through the front door. So she just got the camera on me. She like, I'm going to make sure I send this to your mom and your dad. So I'm looking like, all right, she really finna snitch on me? Like, and I'm looking like, is she really recording me? So I gets in the window. Now, mind you, normally when I get out leaving out the window, I take my time. I have to strategize how I'm going to get down the gate, how I want to jump, how I want to like land. But she wasn't giving me that type of time. She like, come on. So I got on in the middle of the window. And that's that part that is like, I got to adjust myself. This lady came over there, grabbed me, right? She had that super strength. She had that Mortal Kombat strength. She said, get out the window. Get out the window now. And I'm like, how is you still recording? Like, I don't think you should be doing this. Like, so she put me halfway out the window and I held on to the latch. She said, now come on. I said, I gotta get to the gate. She said, I don't care. Do it however you did it. Do it again. So I caught on to the gate. But then when I thought I had it, I kind of like slid down the gate and I fell. Boom. It was a nasty fall. But Mark started laughing. So he was like, oh God, like, you good? So my nana like, who is that down there? Dead like that. I'm like, nobody. She like, I thought I heard somebody else. I'm like, it's nobody. She say, get up and come through the front door. So I get up. Marky like, you want me to come in with you? I'm like, if you want to. He like, no, I'm going through the window. So I'm like, in my mind, like, I don't think that that's a good idea. Nana is up. So Nana, she opens up the front door. She say, stand right here. So I stood in front of her. She put the phone down. She say, you want to be grown? I'm like, she like, you want to just sneak out the house? Don't tell me you going anywhere. And I've been giving you the benefit of the doubt since your mama been gone. And I'm looking. So she say, you wanted to play with me? I'm like, I don't want to play with you. She said, so since you like to jump out the window and climb in the window, that's what we're going to be doing today. So it's early in the morning. You got to be in school in a few hours. But I know you had enough rest. And I look, clearly, no, I did not. I did not have enough rest. Okay, I have not even been to sleep yet. I've been working school. I'm tired. I am tired. So she like, I want you to squat. I'm like, Nana, I don't want to hear you say nothing. Don't say Nana. Don't breathe hard. Don't breathe heavy. Don't do lack of breathing. Squat. So I'm like, okay. So I start squatting. She like, lower. So I got lower. She like, arms out. I put my arms out. She says, stand right there. I tell you when to stop. So I'm like, it was to the point that my knees was buckling, okay? All you hear is, dude, you hear a noise. I'm still squatting. She said, now, you know what? So she went downstairs and she was like, and when she came back up, she said, stand up. So I stood up and it felt so good off my legs. She said, was Marky with you? I'm like, yeah, because it was the way she was looking. It was like, I wanted to say no, but her face was looking like, you only got one chance to tell a story to me and it's up. So I just looked at her. I was like, yeah. She said, where's Marky now? I'm like, I think outside. So she went upstairs in my room and clear as day, Mark was hiding basically in the closet. She told Marky to do the same thing. He had to climb out the window. Now, I ain't know how he did a success because he used to like to do it with the sheet. And I'm quite sure my Nana probably didn't let him do it that easy. So when we come through the front door, so he looks at me. And so she said, both of y'all want to go behind my back and be sneaky while your mama gone, right? Right. So Marky was like, we just went to go see some friends. My Nana, look, she said, Rody Dody, what you tell me? I'm like, that I was on the porch. She said, now I'm going to ask you again, where were you? I looked at Marky like, I'm like, hanging with my friends. She said, hanging with your friends. For how long? I'm like, for like a few hours. She said, okay. And that's how long y'all going to do these exercises for a few hours. She said, squat. So Marky like, can I just get a whooping? She said, Marky, squat if I give you a whooping and you still got to do this. So he like, so he said, as we went down, this is what Marky said. He said, and he went down. She said, Bob. I'm talking about like right across the, Bob, he like, why you hit me? She said, question me again. Squat. I'm talking about Mark was cry. I wanted to cry, but his cry had killed the game. His cry had did something else that made me like, I don't want to cry. Nah, I'm good. You cried enough. You like, because he didn't like doing those. Boom. So now it's like we're almost sitting in a chair, but we're not. We're squatting. Hands are out. So my Nana comes back. It's like 15 minutes later. I'm talking about my legs shaking. She said, I don't want to see your legs shaking. So I'm like, I'm trying to keep it still, but it's like, it's controlling itself. It's controlling itself. What do you possibly want me to do to make my nerves stop? It's doing this thing. So I'm like, oh, now I'm finna start crying. So I start crying like, she said, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm like, and I kept doing that with my nose. She said, I don't want to hear no sniffing. So now it's at the point that I feel like so she said, stand up. Stand up. So she give us these books. She come from downstairs. She got these books in her hand. She say, hold these books. So now instead of us holding the books like this, I was trying to be smart and hold them like this. She said, I want you to hold it like you holding the past. So I'm like, oh my God. So she said, extend them out. So she said, Marky, scoot down. So now we're squatting. So I'm like, Nana, what time it is? Because I'm about to go to school. She said, don't worry about school. You wasn't worrying about school, right? She said, y'all think that this hurt? So Marky like, yes. Okay. She said, well, give me 100 push-ups. I'm like, Nana, I can do that. She said, no. Y'all do everything together. Y'all gonna do this together. 100 push-ups. Now, I was struggling through this 100 push-ups. I was struggling through this 100 push-ups. I got about to 19, and that's when my arms started feeling the fire, feeling the tingling sensation. My arms was getting weak, okay? So I'm getting weak a little bit. I'm like, So she like, come on. So Marky wasn't letting his chin hit the floor. So my Nana was getting mad. So my Nana was making him start over. So Mark just popped up, and he said, I can't take this no more. You can just tell my mama me. And he started stomping down the stairs. She said, She straight grabbed him. And when she grabbed him, she pulled him back. I think she didn't know her strength. She pulled him back, and you just see him tumbling back. She said, say it in my face. Say it again. What you say? So he like, I just want to go to my room. She said, start it over and give me 100 push-ups before I show you what 100 push-ups look like. Chin hitting the floor. So I'm like, Marky, just do it. She said, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. Marky, get back down now. Now, he's struggling with his. I finished my 100, right? So I'm like, I don't know where, at this point, my whole body went numb. I'm crying. I'm like, I'm trying to sniff on the side. So she said, now I want you to go downstairs in the basement, and I want y'all to run up and down. Marky, when you finish with that, you're going to do the same thing. So now I'm running up and down these stairs, right? I'm like, oh, man. I'm talking about, I feel like my heart is on the side. This lady is wearing me out, okay? Boom. It's an hour left for me to rest before it's time for school. So my Nana like, you got an hour. She said, Marky, you can stand right here. So he like, I just want to lay down. She said, you're going to squat. So she's still punishing him. So she tell me to go in my room and get some rest. Now I'm back on bare floor. My Nana made me sore, and I'm laying on the floor. Like, that is not a good combination. So all of a sudden, it was like I struggled a little bit, but soon as you close your eyes and you could tell it's about to feel good, all of a sudden my Nana said, come on, rise and shine, my party king. Let's get on up, shower so you go on ahead and get this extra credit. Boom, I shower, I get myself ready, right? So my Nana is in the living room. I sneaks downstairs with Marky at. Marky was woke. I'm like, you good, bro? He like, no. He like, man, I swear I do not like Nana. I say, look, I'm still going with the plan. He like, yeah. I'm like, I just wanted to check on you. I love you. I'm like, stop getting like that with Nana. He like, stop getting like that with Nana. That's torture. I'm like, just chill, right? So he like, so what's the plan? Because I'm coming with you. I'm like, no, you got to stay right here. He's like, I'm coming with you. I'm like, no, because if I get caught, I don't want you to get caught. Now I'm trying to whisper, right? I'm whispering because I don't want my Nana here. I don't want to do no more suicide. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do no exercising, okay? I don't want to feel like I'm in the military, so I'm whispering to him. So he like, why you whispering? I'm like, because I just wanted to tell you that I'm finna do the plan today. He like, tell me the plan. So I'm like, I don't want to tell you. I kept telling him, I don't want to tell you, right? So all of a sudden, my Nana hits the corner. It's like I just knew to whisper. My Nana hits the corner like, why are you down here? Don't you supposed to be going to school? I'm like, yeah, I was just checking on Mark. She said, you don't need to check on him. She said, now get to school. I said, okay. I said, can I get the phone? She said, can I trust you with the phone? I'm like, yes. So she gave me her phone. Boom. Soon as I leave out, I call Raymond. I say, hey, where you at? He was like, oh, I'm still at the crib. I'm like, hey, meet me halfway. I'm ready. I'm finna get ready to go to my school. He like, all right. Boom. I start walking halfway there. I meet up with Raymond. Raymond like, what you about to do? I'm like, I'm finna show you. Now, in my bag, I had 2 eggs. I had 2 eggs in my bag. All right. I already knew how I was going to pop this off. So as we walking, I hit up the girl with the scar. I'm like, hey, where you at? She like, I'm at the school. I'm like, look, I'm on my way. I'm like, be outside the school. She like, okay. So boom. I'm like, you ready? He like, what you want me to do? I said, look, we finna get close. I'm like, I'm gonna go across the street. So I made sure I was across the street. And like where Cynthia house was at, because Cynthia house was literally right across the street from Beth house. Ashley house was literally right across the street from my mama house, right? And me and Beth is next door. So I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I was doing. And this plan has to work. This plan has to fall through. I have to do it right. I cannot mess this plan up at all. It had to be A1 all across the board. So boom, he like, all right, what you want me to do? I'm like, you gonna ring the bell. He like, all right, cool. So he goes up there to Beth's crib. He like, and he rings the bell. So somebody comes to the door, and then Beth finally comes to the door. So he like, hey, I'm like, hey, Beth, you a lame. I'm like, come outside. Come outside. I'm telling her to come outside. She like, what? So Raymond already came downstairs from off her porch. So I took the egg and I smack. She hurried up and shut one of the doors. It hit the glass door. Because she had two doors. She had a regular door and she had the outside door that was a glass door. So it was like, spack up. So she like, now mind you, she allergic to eggs. She like, you know what? So she didn't have shoes on. She closed the door. I thought she was gone. I'm like, yeah, she's scary. So she opened up the door. I threw the next egg. Smack, she dodged it. I didn't hit her. Now she's chasing. I'm like, come on, let's run. So now I'm running. I'm like, yeah, come on, chase me. I'm telling her, chase me. So I'm like, so Raymond like, why you running? I'm like, come on, keep running. So soon as we get to where I normally catch the bus at, I don't see my bus. So when I look down, I'm like, dang, I just missed my bus. This girl Beth is hitting the corner. She is hitting the corner like, wait till I catch you. So I hurried up, I crossed the street. So here come the opposite bus, like if I was going towards Mark's school. So I'm like, come on, we finna hop on this bus. So boom, we hop on the bus, right? We hop on the bus, and then she hops on the bus with us, but we had already paid our fare, and we went straight to the back. So the bus driver like, hey, he like, you got to pay your fare. So she like, no, let me on this bus. I don't need no ride. So he like, hey, no. He said, he was stopping, and he had his arm out. He like, you got to pay your fare. So I'm sitting there like, you got to pay your fare. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to go to school. I'm trying to go to school. She like, all right, I got you. So she gets off the bus, and we look, and she's running. So I'm like, look. I'm like, hey, look. So when we say our bus coming, because, the buses got to go past each other. I'm like, I'm going to get off the bus, and we're going to get on the original bus. He like, all right. He like, why you do that? I'm like, don't worry. I'm like, just watch. So boom, we see one of my buses coming. So boom, we get off that bus, and we get on the original bus. Now, boom, I hit the girl with the scar. I'm like, hey. I'm like, I'm almost there. She like, all right, I'm in front of the school. She like, hurry up. I'm like, all right, here I come. So boom, I hang up. So I'm like, what you want? I'm like, trust me. So I went on ahead. I star 69, Beth house number, right? Joanne picked up. I'm like, hey, she never knew my voice. I'm like, hey, is Beth there? She like, yeah. So Beth picked up. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what you gonna do? I'm like, every time I see, I'm like, not to run up. I'm like, I'm in my school. If you ever want to run up, I'm just talking to her, just trying to get her there. She like, I'm already on my way there. Bet she already on her way there. So she's driving, okay? I'm thinking that she probably would get on the bus. This girl was driving. Once me and Raymond get off the bus, a car is more faster than a bus. When we get off the bus, I didn't even know that she would drive. First off, we painted up, bust her windows. She had a this plastic bag with tape around it. We done painted up your car. Some of the paint is gone. Some of the paint is not. You know what I'm saying? But she was that heated. She wanted me bad. So I didn't notice. Me and Raymond get off the bus. So he like, I don't get what kind of plan that was. He like, you should have just went on ahead and just beat her down. He like, I would have beat it. I can get my sisters to do it. I'm like, no. I'm like, trust me, I got this. I'm like, man, my nana got my legs hurting, right? I'm telling him like, man, she had a squat move. So I'm telling her to be walking. So you hear the tires like skirt. She didn't even come in the school parking lot. She parked on the side before you enter. So I'm like, man, that's Beth. So I start running again, right? So now this girl is chasing me. I see the girl with the scar. All I need to do is make it. So I'm like, hey. So I'm running. So I grab my nana's phone and I call my nana. And she picks up the house phone. I'm like, Beth following me. She trying to fight me. She at my school. My nana said, I'm on the way. I'm on the way right now. I hang up. As I'm running, here comes Scar. Beth and Scott come head to head. So Scott like, hey, she like, move. Beth like, move. Now you got to remember, Scott is tall. Beth is a little tall. Beth a little thicky. Scott, she a little thick, but not as heavy as Beth. Man, the girl with the Scott straight put in work on Beth. They swinging back and forth. And guess what? I'm sitting there watching it. Soon as they fight, I'm like, hey, Raymond, dip to the side, right? Dip to the side of the school. I runs inside and I go tell the security guard that somebody's out there fighting. I'm like, hey, somebody's out there fighting. So boom, the security guard comes to come break it up. So like, hey, he like, do you supposed to be in hey, what class you supposed to be in? Like this is after school. Like, are you here to take extra credit programs? So Beth like, I promise you, Rody Doty, when I see you. So I'm like, she following me. And now she into it with everybody in my school. She like, no, I'm not. So we going back and forth, right? My nana still have not made it yet. So they telling Beth like to leave off the school ground for they call the police. So I'm like, she my next door neighbor. She followed me up here. And I'm like, now she getting into it with my friend. Boom, it worked like a charm. They made Beth leave. Beth left. My nana pulls up. What happened? Whoa. I'm like, Beth was following me and, I'm telling her what's going on. She like, where is she? I'm like, she just left some minutes ago. And so the security guard's like, hey, if y'all supposed to be in class, get in class. He didn't even question Raymond. So me and Raymond walked right in. Look, my nana was so heated, she wasn't even paying attention that was even Raymond. Raymond wasn't close in the scene. He was still on a dip-off side. So when I walked inside the school, Raymond walked inside the school. So boom, I goes into the class and he like, hey, I'm gonna go on the football field. Cool. Now I left my nana, the security guard, I left them out there and Mark was there. So they all chopping it up. So Caleb didn't come. Caleb don't wake up that early. So you can leave Caleb in the crib. He would not come out that room and he'll sleep all day because he stay up all night. So boom, I get called to the office. My nana like, I'm going to pick you up. She telling me she going to pick me up. So I'm like, Nana, I got to go straight to work. I'm like, we got another big catering. She like, I'm picking you up. I'm going to make sure you're good. She like, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to talk to Miss Beth. Dead like that. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, Nana, where's Caleb? Because she had Mark. She like, he sleep. He'll be fine. She like, I just want to make sure you're okay. I said, yeah. I'm like, I don't know why she followed me, why she chased her. She said, don't worry about it. She said, I got something for her. My Nana dip. Right? So boom. The girl with the scar, she was like, I told you I had your back. I'm like, hey, no problem. She like, thank you, too, for not letting me get in trouble. Because I made sure I didn't want them to catch her out that fight. So I made sure to go get the security guard and just throw it all out there on the table. So she was like, so I had to save my boyfriend. I'm like, I'm not your boyfriend. I'm like, stop. So all of a sudden, as, we're done and, the period is done, it's time for us to go. As I'm coming out to school, Brianna is out there in front of the building with her friends just chopping it up because some of her friends had the extra credit program too to do. So Brianna there, she see me and the girl with the scar coming out and we laughing.